We're going live on Facebook. 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Keely Severson, let's go. So this morning, first thing, I wake up, right? Boom. Grab my hashtag Rise and Grind planner, and I look at the top, and there's a quote from Keely Severson. Keely Severson's quote, which every single quote in the hashtag Rise and Grind book is submitted by a hashtag Rise and Grind member, which is my favorite part about the planner. So this morning, I wake up, boom, from Keely, and here's what it says. Listen to this. This is an incredible quote. I love today's quote. Listen to this. I've already settled it for myself. So flattery and criticism go down the same drain. I am quite free. Oh, it's beautiful. I've already settled it for myself. So flattery and criticism go down the same drain. I am quite free. You don't need to boost me up, and you can try to knock me down, but ultimately it don't matter. I have settled in for myself. I know who I am, and I don't need you to lead me astray or any other way. I love that, Keely. Thanks for submitting that quote. What a great way to start the day. This week on hashtag Rise and Grind, we're talking about the miracle mentality with Tim Story, breaking down the book, The Miracle Mentality. Go grab yourself a copy on Amazon, but let's dive in. This is going to be a powerful episode for all y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? You see, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to 1, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Man, that's like musical, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. That's right, today is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. This year is flying by, for real, for real, for real. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it will ever be Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and yes, I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Hey, if you're watching on Facebook, need you to do me a huge favor. Sometimes we battle Facebook algorithms, and it makes it difficult for people to find the show. I can always tell because I've done this so many times. I can always tell when that is the case. So if you do me a huge favor, go ahead in the comments, tag a friend. If you know there's somebody that typically watches hashtag Rise and Grind, you don't see them in here today, go ahead and tag them because they are having a hard time finding this episode. I can tell you that right now. Listen, this week on hashtag Rise and Grind, we are going on a journey. That's right. We are going on a journey. We're going to travel from the world where most people hang out, the world where most people live, which is this world of mundane, messy, madness. Sorry, there's not a fourth one. I like said that like that there was going to be a fourth one. This world of mundane, messy, and madness, right? Most people live in that world. They live in a world of mundane, messy, and madness. And we're going to transform that into a lifestyle that's magical. That's where we want to go, right? Tim Story in the book Miracle Mentality, he says there's basically 4 stages that most people are in: mundane, messy, madness, and magical. And mundane just means boring and same. Nobody wants to be there, right? And then messy, clearly you guys all know what messy means, right? It's messy. Your life is messy. Things are messy. Relationships are messy. Your finances are messy. Your house itself is messy, right? And then he goes into madness. Madness is like chaos, where things are crazy, like, violence and just complete madness, insanity, right? And what we want to do is we want to get out of those stages and we want to go into magical, because when we're living in the magical, that's where miracles can happen. That is where miracles can happen. And so we're talking about transformation. How do we get from those other places to that magical place? Like, what that magical place looks and feels like. Like, those people that things just seem to always go their way, right? Or that person, that person where things just seem to always go their way. They have the perfect spouse. They have the beautiful home. They make great money. They have gorgeous kids. They always get like the perfect parking space in every parking lot that they go into, right? Like, you guys know the magical people. You know them, where everything in their life just seems magical. And sometimes you're like, that ain't fair. That ain't even right. That ain't right. They ain't even all that. Right? I know you know who I'm talking about. Everything in their life just seems magical. Well, listen, it is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that person has tapped into the miracle mentality. They've tapped into the magic of the miracle mentality. That's why everything seems to go right in their life. Listen, my friend Tim Story wrote an entire book about this. It's actually a fairly short book, but it is the blueprint. He literally breaks down the blueprint. How do we get out of the mundane, the messy, and the madness? How do we get out of that and into the magical? And so him and I have been getting to know each other a lot better as of recently. Tim Story is an incredible guy. If you don't know who he is, he's written multiple books. He is a celebrity life coach. He is a world-renowned speaker, spoken in 75 different countries, just an incredible human being altogether. And so he wrote this book. This book is the blueprint, and I highly suggest that you go get it. It's called The Miracle Mentality. Download it on Audible, get the paperback, whatever you want to do. But by getting it, by reading it, and by executing on it seriously, you can it will help you step into a magical life of abundance and joy. How does that sound? A magical life of abundance and joy. A life where self-actualization of all that you dream is possible. That's what understanding this can do for you, right? Here's how Tim, I'm hyping up the book. I'm going to let Tim describe the book to you himself. Check this out.
Walt Disney walked into an amusement park and he said, "Hey, I'm going to build me an amusement park someday. But mine's going to be different, better, and more magical." Well, guess what? He did build Disneyland. It was different than the one he saw. It was different, better, and more magical. The word magical means extraordinary, supernatural. It means miraculous. That's what my book is about. Having a miracle mentality, a miracle mindset. I believe that the miracle mindset is your VIP pass to anywhere. I have found in my travels that many people live in these categories. The mundane, that's the ordinary, the regular, the standard. Secondly is the messy, the disheveled, the unkept. Then there's the madness. That's the chaos. But I believe that you can live in the miraculous. You can really get through your mundane, messy, madness, and live in the miraculous. But you need the right tools, skills, and attitude. And that's what I'm teaching in this book. I believe this book miracle mentality will inspire people to not just live in the land of okay. There's 3 levels of living: almost, most, and utmost. Almost means not quite, nearly, sort of, kind of almost happened. Most means you put a ceiling up there for me. If I let go a helium balloon, it can only go as high as a ceiling. Utmost is that beautiful, miraculous place. That's where this book will take you. It'll take you to the beautiful, miraculous place. I believe that every person that reads this book has a master plan, that even when you were a child, God spoke destiny into your soul. The destiny was for you to have an utmost life, never to be stuck in the mundane, the messy, or the madness, but to live in the miraculous. And that you too would pass down this miracle mentality to your children's children.
Bingo. That's how Tim breaks that down, right? Yeah, we should be good. I don't know why that video over there. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's how we break that down, or that's how Tim's story breaks that down, which I love how he talks about that. And so today we're going to discuss, like yesterday we broke down mundane, messy, madness, right? We broke all those down. We defined each one. Mundane, kind of the boring. Messy is clearly messy. Madness is like the crazy and the chaos in our lives. So we broke those down yesterday. What we want to talk about today is how do we activate the magic inside you, and how do we activate that magic inside of your kids, right? That's what we want to talk about today. But before we go too far, there's something that we have to do on every episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. And that's that we got to dance, my friend. That's right. We got to do some dancing. Let's go. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So let's go. Come on. Come on. Move it and shake it. Let's go. If you're on the Peloton, boom, step it up. Let's go. I feel it right now. If you're running, come on. You got another gear. I know you do. You're lifting weights. Let's go. Add some weight. Come on. Let's get rocking and rolling. Object in motion tends to stay in motion. Object at rest tends to stay at rest. So let's get rocking and rolling this morning. If you're not doing any of those things, then I need you to dance. You say, Lisa, I know you're laying in bed. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Start dancing. Come on. Get that object in motion. We got to get rocking and rolling. We got my peeps, Alpha and Brielle and William, all the way over in California, tuning in this morning. Come on. Get that body moving. Let's go. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. I want you to say good morning to me, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, podcast, whatever. Say what's up and let's connect. How you doing, Ray Hatcher? What's up, Michelle Burker? How you doing, Janelle Griego? Barrett Trout is in the house this morning. Mrs. Kim Thayer is up in here. How you doing, Emily Gowler? Emily Gowler. What's up, Mocha Love Collaborative? Appreciate the kind words. How you doing? It's Joser1027. I see Iona Inspires is up in the house this morning. Great to see you, Iona Inspires. I'm also seeing Gina Duffy, Angela Heath, Tabitha Wells. My man Sean Jones is up in here. What's up, Jeff McRunnell? We got Melvin Rodriguez. Mr. Zach Doyle is up in the house. And what about Clubhouse? My man Josh Cummins is up in here. Love seeing Josh Cummins. Miss L. Michelle. I see Benja is up in here, and Lola is in the house as well. How you doing, Joshua and Angel? I'm gonna go down a little bit. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What's up, Jenny Chu? Love seeing you. And Andy Pratt, Vicky Everett, Sean Weatherby, Marilyn Wilkin, Justine Designer is up in here. How you doing? Oh, Krista Bugs in 2 places. I see you, Krista Bug. I see Brad is up in here. What's up, Tracy? How you doing, Prit and Marcia, Christine and Wilfred? What's up, Abigail? How you doing, Tanya and Francois and Shekinia? I see Corey and Robin, Argenia and Rodney. What's up, Clara? How you doing, Joan and Murray and Beth and Norbert? Yeah, I see you, Norbert. What's up, Julia? How you doing, Lauren's up in here? I see my man Rick Chapsky's up in here as well. Yes, Tina. And hi, Danny. Hi, Pam. My goodness, people all around me. What an amazing gift this is. How you doing, Craig Pazzaretti? How you doing, Andy Pratt? Brad's, I already said hi to Andy. I'll say him twice. What's up, Jesse Miller, Brad Smith? Hey, and while I have your attention, do me a favor. If you haven't done so already, there's this book called The Morning Five. The Morning Five is a book that I wrote. 5 simple steps to an extraordinary life. 5 simple steps that if you do these 5 things, it can make a massive impact in your life. No snooze button, no phone first thing in the morning. Write down your gratitude and your goals. Take care of yourself physically and send out an encouraging message. 5 steps. It does come with a challenge. It's a 67-day challenge. If you can do those 5 simple steps every day for 67 days, post about it on social media. We will send you all kinds of free Rise and Grind gear, hoodies, hats, water bottles, all that stuff. We send it out 67 days because we stand behind what we believe, which is if you change the way you start your day, it'll make a massive impact in your life. So if you'd like to download that for free, you can go to themorning5.com. That's themorning5.com. Go ahead and download that. You can check that out. And I appreciate when you get through that, send me a little video and let me know how it affected you, because I know it's made a big impact on me and thousands of others. So themorning5.com, download the free ebook and give it a shot. All right, with that said, let's dive in. Part 2, the miracle mentality.
Taking time to be creative and let your imagination soar. Man, there's some beautiful things in life when you do that.
When life tries to take me down to a whisper, just shout on purpose. Just intentionally shout.
You were never created to be almost, nor were you created to be most. To be most means there's a ceiling. If I was to let go a helium balloon today, even though the ceilings are so high, there's a ceiling. But where you're headed, there is no ceiling.
Activating the miracle mentality within. Activating the miracle mentality within takes work. That's how we're going to start this segment. I need you to understand that it takes work to step into the magical in your life. To step into the magical, you need 3 things that Tim breaks down in the book. Tim says in order to step into the magical, you need talent, you need opportunity. I can make that bigger for those of you on here. You need talent, you need opportunity, and you need desire. In order for you to step into the magical in your life, you must have talent, you must have opportunity, and you must have desire. Tim Story talks about in the book the story of Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston grew up, her mother was a singer. Her cousin was also a singer, and her cousin's mother was Dionne Warwick, I think is what he said. So she grew up in this incredibly musical family. By growing up in that musical family and environment, she was given opportunities that other girls that grew up in the same area as her, other African-American women, like they weren't given the same opportunities Whitney Houston was, simply because of the environment that she was in. So she was given opportunity. Now, don't take it for granted. If she would have been given opportunity but didn't have any talent, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. If she was given opportunity and had talent but didn't have the desire, then it wouldn't have mattered. See, it requires all 3 to really step into that magical existence. You have to have talent, you have to have opportunity, and you have to have desire. If you're missing one, you're stuck. See, she had all 3. If, for example, you have desire and you have opportunity, but you ain't got no talent, you're awful. I'm just saying, right? Like you might say, I want to really be a professional basketball player. You might say that, right? You might feel that way. That might be your desire. And you might even have an opportunity. You might know somebody like Coach Isaacs or one of these other folks we hang out in Clubhouse that have connections, right? Laura Wild, she's got some connections. So you might have opportunity and you might have desire. But if you're 5'1" and can't even dribble a basketball with your left hand, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. You're not going to step into the magical when it comes to the world of professional basketball. That's just not how it's going to work. So understanding that we have to have all three of these things: talent, opportunity, and desire. Now, see, when it comes to talent, I don't want you to get it twisted. Talent is not necessarily just the gift that you receive. What's up, Tyson? Talent is not necessarily just a gift that you received, right? But talent is actually this gift that you received and that you've mastered and that you've curated over time. Like real talent, magical talent takes work, right? Like Jordan, Kobe, both born with some athletic skill. But it was their desire, their passion, right? And them going out and honing that skill, curating that skill, practicing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. That's when their talent became magical. Make sense? Are you following? That's why I said this takes work. You may have been given a talent and you're like, you know what? I'm the best hula hooper in the world, and that's my talent, and I have a lot of desire for that, and maybe I have an opportunity to do something with it. That's dope. You better put in the work to take your talent, your gift, your blessing that you received, your divine, that inherent part of you. You got to cultivate that sucker. You got to make it magical. You can't just sit back, be lazy, and take what God gave you and expect to live a magical life. It's not how it works. We were called from the very beginning. Adam was called to work the garden. Now, when it comes to this word desire, desire is this burning passion, that God placed in you. And here's the thing about desire. I think we all know what we desire. I think every single one of us have this thing in us, right? And we're like, man, I've always loved that. I've always had a passion for that. I feel like I'm in my place, right? I feel like I'm in my place when I'm doing this thing, whatever that thing is of yours that you have a desire for. Here's the thing. I think we all know what it is, but what Tim talks about in the book is that our desires, we all have these desires, but but basically our fears get in the way of us pursuing them. Like we all know what we really want, right? We all know that, the things that really make the hairs on our arms stand up, that bring out the real excitement and joy in us. We know it, and we think about it. We're like, man, one day I'm going to go own an island, or one day I'm going to take this trip, or one day I'm going to go do this thing, right? But there's fear that gets in the way. Oh, but what about my family? I can't really afford that. What if this happens? What if I lose my job, right? There's all these fears and anxieties that get in the way of us really chasing our desires. And so the book talks about how we have to strip away those fears, which takes work. See? We got to strip away the fears. We got to take work, or we got to actually dive in and look at these things and do a audit of ourselves and say, okay, this is in the way. This is unrealistic. Fear means false evidence appearing real, per my man Les Brown, right? False evidence appearing real. So what are the lies that I'm telling myself that's keeping me from stepping into my passion? You see, in order to step into the magical, you're going to have opportunity, you have to have talent, and you have to have desire. But your desire can be stifled by the fears of your past experiences that you're currently living with in your life. Make sense? Now, you have to understand, why is this so much work, Glenn? Why can't I just step into the magical? Well, you have to understand that in order for you to go from messy, mundane, and madness, it requires a full-on transformation of self. You must become something new, completely transformed, like a caterpillar that transforms into a butterfly. There has to be a full-on transformation. You have to let go of who you were in order to be able to step into who it is that you want to be, living in this magical place, in this miracle mentality. And transformation requires three things. You see, transformation requires observation. Let me go to a better angle. There we go. Transformation requires observation, education, and conversation. Tim breaks this all down in the book, all right? Transformation requires observation, education, and conversation. And here's what he means by that. In order to observe something different than what you currently observe, you're going to have to step into environments that you've never been into before. Maybe you need to go drive around in a neighborhood filled with a bunch of really rich, like really nice houses to kind of break your mindset when it comes to your finances. In the book, Tim refers to driving a really nice Mercedes car and putting himself, by observing what that feels like to be in a Mercedes, it shifted his mentality of what that looks like and what that feels like and what's possible for him. Yesterday, my friend Brielle ran a room on creating your own vision board on Clubhouse, and it was spectacular. Spectacular to see people's minds be blown by the possibilities that they didn't even realize that was out there. Traveling can help expand your observation when you go into other cities, other states, other countries, when you get around other people, right? It creates these new things. You start to see new things in your mind that you never knew existed. So the observation part requires some work on your part. It's going to require you to step into areas of your life that you're not comfortable. Now, the second part that Tim talked about, you have observation first, we have education second. So when it comes to education, in case you don't know, that means you need to read a book or listen to an audible. It means that you need to sign up for some type of coaching that has some type of teacher. It means you need to dive in and watch certain videos. You need to learn. It takes work. You see, here's the thing. You don't know what you don't know. That's just facts. You have no idea what pieces of this world and this existence you know nothing about. Man, yesterday I was in a room learning about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. My man William says I got to learn about it. Everybody's talking about learning about it. I have no idea what the heck these things are. I don't get it. I don't understand it. My brain can't process it, but I've been diving in and I'm learning and I'm asking for help. I'm like, hey, coach me, teach me. Let's jump on a call. Is there a book that I can read? It's really, really uncomfortable, but just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean I want to pass on the potential magic that this could create in my life and my family's life. You see, the Bible calls us to think 3 generations deep. I want you to understand that. This isn't even in my notes. Receive this morning. The Bible calls you to think 3 generations deep. You've got you, then you've got your kids, then you've got your kids' kids. You are supposed to, in one lifetime, create a legacy that will impact all 3. A positive legacy that will impact all 3. You can't do that knowing what you know. You can't do that being who you are. You can only do that by continuing to evolve, transform, educate, observe, grow, step into the magical. It's the only way you're going to do 3 generation impact. I want you to think about it. This life is not about you, and it never was. This life is about the impact you can make on others. Period. So step up your game. If you need to, read 10 pages a day. Some of my friends, they're doing the 75 hard challenge right now. They're doing 10 pages a day in a book. They're learning, they're growing, they're evolving. It's so important, right? So 1, you have to, in order to transform, it requires observation. Secondly, it requires education. And thirdly, it requires conversation. Getting in the room with the right people. Big conversations. Getting in the room with people that believe in you, that will lift you up, that will encourage you. getting in the room with people that will challenge you, getting into conversations that will absolutely shock you. You know, I was sitting in at a table with some people, and they were talking about how they make $1 million a month. $1 million a month. I was like, golly, I didn't even know that was a thing. I've been in the room with people having conversations about how their marriage is so incredibly packed with lust. They chase each other around the dang house. Been married a decade. Can't keep their hands off each other. I was like, dang. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've been in rooms where people are talking about shorter work weeks, spending time with their family, coaching basketball teams, football teams. I've been in rooms where people are talking about building big old businesses, bringing water to third world countries. Like, I've been in rooms where people are talking about doing things that are going to make a massive impact, not just in their lives, but in generations to come. Listen, the conversations will literally shift you when you get in the right rooms. They will literally shift you when you get in the right rooms. So listen, this whole process is going to take work. And I was going to dive into the parenting side of things a little bit, but I'm out of time this morning, so we'll roll it over into tomorrow. So your biggest takeaways. I want you to understand that there's three things that you need. Talent, opportunity, and desire. You need those to step out of the mundane, the messy, and the madness, and ultimately step into the magical. You have to have talent, opportunity, and desire. And once you have those three things, understand that through observation, education, and conversations, these are the things, the catalysts that are going to help you create change in your life so that you can step into a miracle mentality. I love this book. I love the way Tim Story wrote it. It's very easy to read. It's very easy to process and to understand. It is a blueprint. If you haven't got it yet, go get the miracle mentality. I know I never do this on this show. I don't promote hard on this show, but this particular book is such an easy read. The way he tells the stories, the way he connects it, it's really, really impactful. And I want you to get out of the mundane, to get out of the messy, to get out of the madness, and to step into the magical. Because when you step into a magical existence, not only is it so filled with joy, and not only do you wake up with such passion and desire for life, not only is that the case, but man, it makes a massive impact on your friends, on your family members, on the coworkers. I mean, every decision you make. Listen, you have to understand that you are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you to be the best, the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit below average version, not a little bit above average, but the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. So let's continue to work on that. Let's put in the work. Let's do what it takes to evolve you into the absolute best that you can possibly be, because it matters. Every decision you make matters. You showing up here today matters. You hitting share buttons and plus signs and all that stuff, it matters. I want you to understand it matters. It matters. Like, you're making an impact on me. And I, for one, I absolutely stinking love you for it. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. I do. So get out there today. Have an incredibly impactful day. Come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again on #RiseAndGrind. Listen, until then, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you want to hang out over in Clubhouse, I'm going to head over there now. We're going to hang out over in Clubhouse. We'll talk more about this stuff, right? So if you want to hang out, go hang out on Clubhouse in Breakfast with Champions. We got that rocking and rolling. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30. Have a great day. Love you. See ya.
First thing on my mind, early in the morning time, daily motivation. morning. On my feet before the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. Hashtag blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning.